The number one factor outside of your job in the military that will determine your happiness is the base that you're stationed at. A critical aspect of that duty station is dating opportunity, pure and simple. I wanted to highlight and go over the worst Army bases to be stationed at if you're a single man, or if you're unexpectedly become a single man while serving in the Army. Now, let's start off with some of the baselines with what makes a base surroundings terrible for a single man. Number one, low population towns in proximity to the base. Now, if you are stationed at a base, usually the closest town nearby is where you usually live, unless you live on the base in the barracks for the Army. And that's where a majority of your possible dating opportunity is. Now, the U.S. Army has some of the oldest bases in the entire country, in our military, of course. And these towns, over time, have been hollowed out, just like most of the rural areas in the United States. Everyone's migrating towards these cities, and these Army-based towns that are surrounding and are kept afloat by the Army, they've become really old. The populations of these towns skew older, so your chances of meeting a quality girl, a quality woman in that town are very, very low. Any decent woman that lives in that town, she's going to move out of the town, okay? She's going to go pursue education in a larger city, get a job in a larger city. She's not going to stick around in this old, decrepit military town waiting for you. If she has opportunity, if she has looks, if she has intelligence, she's gone. What's left is, to be frank with you, pretty much the leftovers or people who got caught up with the Army, say an ex-spouse of a military member who has a few kids. That's what's in store for you outside of these Army bases. Good luck. Number two of these baselines is simple, and I kind of talked about it in my last point, but the demographic decline of these towns. Everyone skews older, so a majority of the population isn't in your age bracket anymore. So if you're an 18-year-old guy, you just joined the military, you're not going to really be able to find an equivalent mate in the town. And let me tell you something about the town. What's left there in that town? Imagine back in the day, Constantinople, okay? AKA now today it's Istanbul. The Ottomans came into Constantinople and they sacked it. They sacked the city. Army soldiers of past and present, they've sacked that town outside of your base. It's totally devoid. Opportunities of the women there, like, they've all met Army guys already, or they have in the past. You're nothing new. That town, any town in close proximity, it's dying. It has a small population. It's over for you when it comes to dating opportunity. You need to drive to the largest population area. Whereas with these bases on this list, these large cities outside of these bases are hours away. You can't just go over there during the week. It's going to be terrible for you at these bases when it comes to dating. And let me emphasize you, if you're in this situation, you need to hunker down, work on yourself, make sure you sign a 4-year contract. Don't sign a 6-year contract, okay? And just work on yourself, get your education, and better yourself for the opportunities either outside of the Army, or go to your leadership and say, hey, if you don't move me off this base in my allotted time, I'm getting out of the Army. I'm becoming a veteran. See ya. The third and final baseline is a simple one. It's the climate, just the weather of where your base is located. Now, if you're located up north in the United States, it gets extremely cold up there. So for a majority or half of the year, you really can't leave the proximity of the base to go see a girl in some city. You're just snowed in. It's freezing. It's terrible there. You do not want to be at a base that either has extreme cold climate for half of the year, or even in some cases down in the south, like in the desert where it's extremely hot. That sucks too. It's not fun driving after work to some city nearby to meet a girl when it's like 110 degrees out. So climate can be a killer for a base that you're at. It can ruin everything. Without further ado, these are the top 10 worst Army bases for single men. Also, please like and subscribe. Every like, every subscription helps me out so much. And if you really want to support me, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. Anything helps. Thank you so much. Number 10 on the list is a base that everyone in the Army knows about, and a lot of civilians in the other branches too know about. And that's Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. Now, hey, you are in a populated area, of course, mid-sized town and everything like that, but it's totally ran through. It's a destroyed town. The dating opportunity there is awful. Okay, it's well known that it's awful. And people kind of go crazy at Fort Hood. They just lose their minds and everything like that. You're 2 hours outside of Austin. Like, Fort Hood is a terrible base, whether it be for the mission, for the social aspects of life outside of the Army, like in your free time, and just reputationally. It's sad, but a lot of terrible things have happened at Fort Hood. So number 10 is Fort Hood. The next base on our list is Pohakuloa Training Area. It's on Big Island, Hawaii. It's very remote in the sense that Big Island doesn't have a lot of things to do other than nature stuff. So there's not a lot of dating opportunity there. It's very dry. It's a training base, so like they do have an active duty detachment there. But when you're there for training, like you're really not going to have any sort of social life there. So it's not really a good base. You don't want to be there. Number 8 on our list is the Yuma Proving Ground in Arizona. It's located right outside of Yuma, Arizona. You're very far away from Phoenix, about 3 hours away. It's very hot there. It's probably one of the hottest places in the entire United States. So during the summer, it's just going to be, you're going to be lethargic. You're not going to be wanting to do stuff after work. So imagine you have to commute to go see your girl in another city or something like that. It's just going to be terrible for you. And Yuma in general, it skews a little bit older and everything like that. It's not a great place to be. Like, it's going to suck for you if you're stationed there. Number 7 on our list is White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. So it's located between Alamogordo, New Mexico, and Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's extremely remote. You're going to have to drive at least 30 to 45 minutes to get to Las Cruces, okay? Las Cruces isn't that bad, but the major city nearby is El Paso, and you want to be able to go there. That's going to take a few hours. So you're in the middle of the desert. It's hot. Really, Alamogordo's not an option when it comes to dating. There's an Air Force base right there. So you're going to have to go to Las Cruces. It's just, and it gets hot during the summer. You're going to hate it there. Like, it's just, there's not a lot of great opportunities, so you're fighting for the scraps over in Las Cruces. So good luck with that. Number 6 on our list is Fort Hunter in California. It's in the Central California mountains and is primarily a training base, but they do have some active duty units stationed there all year round. Yeah, this base is in a desolate part of California. It's 3 hours outside of San Jose or Fresno, so there's no way you can travel to these cities during the week. So that means there's not a lot of great dating opportunity unless you can get to a big population center. So you're not going to have a lot of dating opportunity. And there's not a lot of infrastructure out there to begin with. So, hey, pray you don't have to train out here. Number 5 on our list is Fort Polk in Louisiana. It's in Leesville, Louisiana. It's 3.5 hours outside of New Orleans in Baton Rouge. Very humid there, terrible environment. There's mold, there's all kinds of stuff that happens in the barracks. Like, it's a terrible place to live. Like, you're going to be sweating all the time. And then on top of that, there's not great dating opportunity in the area. You can't travel out to New Orleans all the time, all right? You're stuck there. So hunker down, improve yourself, because if you're stationed at Fort Polk, it's not going to be a great time. Number 4 on our list is the Dugway Proving Ground in western Utah. Very far outside of Salt Lake City, about 2.5 to 3 hours outside of Salt Lake City. The remainder, everywhere else around the base, it's very remote. So you're going to have to, drive 3 hours just to get to civilization. And that leads to having terrible dating opportunity. Who's living out near Dugway Proving Ground? Well, a bunch of old people probably. Not a lot of young, great women are out there waiting for Mr. Army Man to save their life. They've already left. They're already in Salt Lake City. They're already wherever other than near that training base. Number 3 on our list is Fort Irwin in California. Now, you're literally located in the desert. You're in the Mojave Desert, okay? And you're very far from any decent dating area. You're 3 hours outside of LA. Now, granted, LA, if you can get there on the weekend, you might have a better opportunity there because, hey, you're an Army man in a mostly cosmopolitan area that leans left. Women like that. Women like something different, and you'd be something different. But, sorry, you're 3 hours outside of that. It's hot there during the summer. You're not going to have really any opportunity for dating in the local area unless, and I strongly don't recommend this, dating your fellow female soldiers. Don't do it. I repeat, do not do that. It's a trap, okay? Number 2 on our list, and I need to say this before I go over number 2. Number 2 and number 1, in my opinion, are way worse than any of the other bases on this list, okay? These 2 bases, you're in for some depression if you're stationed here, okay? So be strong mentally. Work on yourself if you're stationed at either of these 2 bases. Number 2 is Fort Wainwright in Alaska. Now, you're in Fairbanks, Alaska. That's like the middle of Alaska. There's nothing to do out there other than outdoor activities. The dating opportunities are nothing. You're 6 hours outside of Anchorage. The winters suck, okay? The winters are some of the worst in the world, all right? You're living like they live in Russia, in the Far East Russia, when you live in Alaska. These Far East Russia and Alaska have the same temperate climate, okay? It's awful, okay, for the winters. It's very depressing. So if you get stationed at Fort Wainwright, stay strong, brother. Stay strong. And finally, number 1 is Fort Greely in Alaska, all right? So it's very close to Fairbanks, about 2 hours away, all right? But once again, it's freezing, all right? It's isolating, probably more so than Fairbanks. Hey, well, I mean, if you get really isolated, you can go over to Fairbanks to hang out. It's 2 hours away, okay? There's probably some better dating opportunity there. Psych, okay? It's terrible there, all right? And you're going to be, this base is considered the most isolated active duty Army base in the world, all right, for U.S. soldiers, okay? Let me emphasize that for the 1 or 2 foreigners that are watching. So, hey, hunker down, as I've said, and focus on yourself if you're stationed here. Focus on all the things you're going to do when you get out of the Army if they don't let you leave this cold, desolate, dark nightmare zone, okay? That's what you need to do. That's my list for the top 10 worst Army bases for single men. Please like and subscribe. If you have any stories of being stationed at these bases, please leave them below. I love reading them, and I know a lot of the people who are stationed at these bases really enjoy seeing others who have, persevered and got through being stationed at these bases. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.